Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will talk about two methods with respect to NumPy arrays. One is reshape and another one is squeeze. So let's get started. So I have opened a Jupyter notebook here and I am importing NumPy array as NP, and I am creating a NumPy array and naming it as ARR1. And this array is of shape 3,3 and it has two dimensions in it. The element starts from 1 through 9. So it has total 9 elements. So as you have already seen, the shape of this array is 3,3, right? What if I want to change the shape of this array so that it has one element in each row? In other words, I want to convert this array structure into 9 rows, 1 column. Okay, 9 rows, 1 column. So how I can do that? So all I have to do is I have to say ARR1 dot reshape. I have to provide the shape within this reshape method. So in order to convert into some different shape, all I have to specify within this reshape method is I have to specify the shape to which this array 1 is intended to be changed to. Okay. Now in this case, I want it to be changed to 9 rows and 1 columns. So if I just execute it, you will see it has 9 rows and 1 column. But this reshape will return us a new array containing the same data but with a new shape, right? So in other words, if I now check the contents of ARR1, it will be unaffected. So in order to have this result to be accessed in future, in next steps, I have to store this in one variable. Okay, so all I have to do is create a variable. Here I am creating by name result, and all I have to do is ARR1 dot shape dot reshape, and I have to convert it to 9, 1, right? So now if I check the content of result variable, it will be the changed shape with respect to ARR1. Okay, now if I check result dot shape, it will be 9, 1. So whatever we have specified as part of the argument of reshape method, that particular shape will be present with respect to the resulting array. Now, in the same way, if I want to change the shape of this ARR1, or I want to arrange these elements in 1 row and 9 columns. So how I can do that? All I have to do is I have to say reshape 1, 9. So now if I execute it, you will see it has been arranged in 1 row and 9 columns. Now again, ARR1 will not be affected. In order to access this particular array in my next steps, all I have to do is the same thing. I have to store it in some variable because it returns us a new reshaped array with the same elements in it. Okay, so this is how we can reshape. Now we have converted from 2 dimension to 2 dimension, right? For a 2-dimensional array of shape 3 cross 3, we have converted into 9, 1 and 1, 9. So what if we have to change the dimension of this ARR1 altogether from 2 dimension if I have to change it to 1 dimension? How I can do that? So all I have to do is ARR1 dot reshape. I just want plain 9 elements in it. You see the dimension of this is 1. So how we can verify that? You can check this by saying ndim. So you will see it is 1 dimension. So what if I want to convert this 2-dimensional ARR1 to 3-dimensional array? So how I can do that? All I have to do is ARR1 dot reshape 1, 1, 9. If I say this, it will be converted into 3 dimension. Or let's say I want to have, I want to have in other words, other shape 9, 1, 1. So it can be like this as well. So generally, reshape method can be used to reduce the dimension or expand the dimensions. In other words, you can basically change the dimension of any particular NumPy array and also its shape. Okay, so that's what we have seen in this example. Okay, that's about reshape. So if you want another concrete example, let me create another 2-dimensional array with 12 elements in it. Okay, so let me name it as ARR2 and it has 3 rows, 4 columns, in total 12 elements, right? If I check the shape, it will be 3, 4 and dimension will be 2. Okay. Now, since I have 3 rows and 4 columns, so let's see, I want to convert it into 4 rows and 3 columns. How I can do that? What happens if I provide reshape argument, the shape of 4 comma 3 on top of this array 2? So if I say arr2 dot reshape 4 comma 3, you will see the same elements will be arranged in order to match the shape that we have passed to the reshape method. Okay. So 4 comma 3. What it does is 1, 2, 3. We need to have 4 rows and 3 columns, right? So 1, 2, 3 will be 1 row. 4 will be moved to the second row, and the elements of the second row will be 4, 5, 6, right? Then this 7, 8, 9 will be moved to the next row, that is third row. 10, 11, 12 will be the part of fourth row. So we have 4 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so this is rearranging this 3 cross 4 array into 4 cross 3 array. Now what if I want to have 2 rows and 6 columns, right? So all I have to do is I have to say arr2 dot reshape 2 comma 6. Now all it will do is the first 4 elements will stay in the first row. The next 2 elements from the second row will be picked up and merged as part of this first row, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The remaining elements 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, again 6, right? So those 6 elements will be part of my second row. So 2 rows and 6 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, 1 and 2 rows. Okay, so this is how we can reshape. So in same way, if I want to reshape this particular array to 6 cross 2, so how I can do that? So all I have to do is reshape and pass the shape as 6 comma 2. You can see the elements are rearranged, but the values are not changed. Only the elements will be rearranged according to the shape that we have specified in the reshape method. So this is how you can reshape the arrays. You can also convert this 2-dimensional array into 3-dimensional array, right? So how I can do? Let's say I want to convert array 2 into 3-dimensional array with shape 2, 3, 2. Okay. So all I have to do is, currently it is 3 cross 4. I have to convert this into 2, 3, 2, 3-dimensional array. So I have to specify arr2 dot reshape 2 comma 3 comma 2. If I execute it, you will see it has 2 elements in the first dimension, 3 elements in the second dimension, 3 each in the second dimension, and 2 elements within the third dimension, right? So if you guys are not clear on how this 2, 3, 2 will be reshaped, I suggest you to watch my video on understanding multidimensional NumPy arrays. There is a video with this particular heading, understanding multidimensional NumPy arrays. Therein I have clearly explained how do we identify and understand the dimensions and how to identify the shape of multidimensional NumPy arrays. Okay, so please go and watch that video. Now let's say if I want to reshape into 3, 2, 2, right? All I have to do is I just have to specify the shape to whichever shape I want to rearrange the elements. So if I execute it, you see the difference now. It was 2, 3, 2. Now it is 3, 2, 2. You see 1, 2, 3 elements in the first dimension, 2 elements in that second dimension, right? And 2 within each of the third dimension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So this is how we can reshape. Please note guys, whenever you are passing some numbers in this reshape or reshape method, the product of these numbers must be equal to the elements that we have in our array. So since we have 12 elements in this array, whatever numbers you pass, the product must be equal to 12. Suppose if we have 15 elements in the array, the product of these numbers must match or equal to the 15. So in other words, in general, the product of the numbers within reshape method should be equal to the number of elements in an array on which we are applying reshape to. Okay, so then only it will work, otherwise it will throw us an error, because it tries to arrange 12 elements in this particular dimensions, which will again result in 12 elements, right? So if you just multiply 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 2, 12, right? So in this case also 2 into 6, 12, 4 into 3, 12, right? So this is how you have to match the number of elements to the product of the numbers within reshape method. So this is all about reshape. Now we will turn our idea to squeeze method. Okay. So what squeeze does? In order to demonstrate the functionality of the squeeze method, I will create another array and name it as ARR4. Okay. So I will execute it. I'll say ARR4 and shape is 1, 2, 1, 3. It is a four-dimensional array. It has one element in the first dimension. So 1 comma, right? Within the first dimension we have two elements. So 1 comma 2. Within this second dimension we have one element each. So 1 comma 2 comma 1, and the innermost dimension has three elements, right? 1 comma 2 comma 1 comma 3. So 1 comma 2 comma 1 comma 3. So this is the shape of our four-dimensional array, which is named as ARR4. Now if I just execute squeeze here, you see what happened. Squeeze will, so just let's check the definition of squeeze method. It says it removes the single dimensional entries from the shape of this particular array. Okay, so what it does, it removes the one dimensional entries. It doesn't remove any elements, but wherever we have one dimensional elements, those things will be removed. So if you see, we have one dimensional elements, two one dimensional elements, right? So 1 and 1 here. So in the first dimension we have one dimensional element. Within the third dimension we have one dimensional element, right? So this is one dimension, and within this third dimension we have one dimension, correct? So these things will be removed. These things will be moved, and we will not see one dimensional entries anymore. Okay. So if you just see the output of np.squeeze, you will see it is a two-dimensional array with 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay. Again, this will return us a new array. So if you check ARR4, it will be unaffected, right? So it is still ARR4 dot, and then it will be 4-dimensional. It will also return us a new array with one-dimensional entries removed from this particular array. Now if you check let's say I am storing it in one result2 variable. I'll say ARR4 dot squeeze and I'm executing it. Now if I see result2, you will see it is a two-dimensional array. How I am sure that it's a two-dimensional array? Because it has 2 rows and 3 columns. We can verify it. Result2 dot shape. You see it is 2 cross 3. If you want to check the dimension, and then it will be 2. Now we have this result, right? Result2. It is of shape 2 comma 3. There is no one-dimensional element or one-dimensional entry in this element. Okay, in this particular array result2. So what happens if I just execute squeeze on this result array? So it will do nothing, because since we do not have any one-dimensional entries in this particular NumPy array, no action will be taken on this particular array with squeeze method. Okay, the squeeze will have no impact on any NumPy array which doesn't have any single dimensional entry in that particular array. Okay, so that's about squeeze. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys understood the difference between reshape and squeeze. If you guys have any questions, please post it in comment section. I will try to get back to you with the answers. So till next video, happy learning. Bye.